Minecraft has been in constant change and development for 15 years. It's been through hundreds of versions and over 20 major updates. Today we'll be looking at the history of these updates and asking the questions: why did Notch leave the game? When did Mojang swap their office chairs for comfy mattresses and start sleeping on the job? And why is there a mob vote when all 3 mobs could easily be added to the game? Let's begin. Before releasing as a public beta, Minecraft went through 5 developmental phases: pre-classic, classic, in dev, inf dev, and alpha. Pre-classic was a proof of concept for the game. It lasted a week, and the game was originally going to be called either Cave Game or Minecraft Order of the Stone. Luckily, they cut it down to just Minecraft. This version was super bare bones. The only blocks were cobblestone, stone, grass, dirt, planks, and saplings. There were also these horrifying human mobs that ran like this. Basic game concepts were introduced, like destroying and placing blocks, respawning, and the void. Classic was the first small-scale public release of the game. This version ran survival tests, which allowed them to test the concept of survival Minecraft. This version introduced zombies, skeletons, spiders, pigs, sheep, and creepers. It also introduced the health bar, food items for healing, and experience points when killing mobs. Plenty of new blocks were added, including bedrock, water and lava, coal, iron and gold ore, sand, gravel, and glass, plus trees and obsidian. In-dev, short for in development, came next. This version introduced crafting as its core concept, but also brought the inventory, tools like hoes, ores and furnaces, torches, item stacking, farming mechanics, and the day and night cycles. This was the first version you could buy, going for $5. Next came InfDev, spelled with an F, short for Infinite Development. In this version, Notch rewrote the code, allowing for worlds to be procedurally generated, meaning they are practically infinite in size. For reference, one Minecraft world would be 8 times the size of Earth, or around 14 billion square miles. To make that easy to visualize, that's about 205 billion football fields. This version brought 3-dimensional clouds, water fluidity, a bunch of craftable items like doors, ladders, minecarts and rails, golden apples, and dungeons that contain saddles, though at this time you could only put them on a pig. Alpha was the last version before the public beta released. This version introduced the Nether with a Halloween update, along with the requisite Nether portal, ghasts, and zombie pigmen, but no blaze yet. This version also came with a very basic version of redstone that worked like binary, although people were already making working computers out of it. New biomes including snowy biomes, woods, plains, the beach, and mountain biomes. Alpha also came with cows, chicken and slime, fishing and fishing rods, and new music soundtracks by the artist C418. The beta marks the first public release of the game. It went through many small updates focused on polishing gameplay. Some of the items added were beds, repeaters, pistons, note blocks, dispensers, cake, squids, wolves, cacti, cobwebs, and charged creepers. This is also when the official game logo was released. And finally, on November 18th, 2011, Minecraft was officially released. 1.0, also referred to as the Adventure Update, added the End Dimension, along with the Ender Dragon, the first ever boss in-game, and with it, a way to technically beat the game. Most importantly, this update came with enchantments and potions. Tools could be enchanted with XP using the enchanting table, and potions could be brewed using the potion stand. Items could also be repaired in the crafting menu. The update also gave us villages and villagers, but not trading yet, along with strongholds, mineshafts, a re-added creative mode, and the river and swamp biome. This update also added the hunger bar and changed the way combat mechanics worked. Critical hits could be performed when jumping, and when right-clicking with swords, you could actually parry an attack, though this was later removed when shields were added. This update is also when hardcore worlds were brought into the game. Now a speedrun of the items: Ender Pearls, Eyes of Ender, Blaze Rods and Powder, melons, pumpkins, bottles, brewing stands, cauldrons, enchanting tables, endermen, silverfish, blaze, snow golems, mushrooms, and magna cubes. This update was and still is probably the largest quality and quantity of items added in any update. 1.1 pales in comparison to the previous update. It mainly added spawn eggs for creative mode, 56 new languages for the game, including fake languages like Klingon, and the super flat world type. But it did make golden apples craftable, and creepers now drop music discs when they're killed by skeletons. But that's it. Another minor update before the major changes in 1.3, 1.2 added iron golems, the jungle biome, ocelots, redstone lamps, fire charges, and the bottle o enchanting. And now for the heavy hitter, the villager trading update. Villagers now spawn in with random professions and will trade items for emeralds and emeralds for items. This update also gave us emerald ore, ender chests, the book and quill, jungle and desert temples, tripwire hooks, and the large biome world generation type. The trading system for villagers was still very simple, and trades didn't go up in prices even if you smacked the villagers around. The pretty scary update added the second and last health bar boss, the Wither. The Wither offered another level of challenge past the Ender Dragon, which made for better post-game progression. This update also brought the Nether Star used to craft beacons, Halloween-themed mobs in the form of wither skeletons, witches, and bats, along with zombie villagers, and the scariest thing in the game, baby zombies. This was also the update we got anvils, enchanted books, the carrot on the stick making pigs rideable, and item frames. Wait, no. That's better. 1.5 completely transformed the landscape of redstone in Minecraft, taking it from a simple on-off switch to something that can be used to build real functioning computers inside of a game. The update added comparators, which I still don't understand, hoppers, droppers, the redstone block, daylight sensors, activator rails, trap chests, weighted pressure plates, and hopper and TNT minecarts. The update also brought quartz ore and all the accompanying decorative quartz blocks. The equestrian update brought us horses, donkeys, and mules. Along with zombie and skeleton horses, the name tag was added along with the Dinnerbone Easter egg. Leads, horse armor, and hay bales were introduced. This update also changed the way eating and healing work. Now food provides saturation, giving advanced healing and delaying hunger loss. 1.7 introduced 9 new biomes: the Mesa, Taiga, Roofed Forest, Birch Forest, Flower Forest, Savanna, Extreme Hills, Deep Ocean, and Ice Spikes, along with all the various trees and wood types for each biome. The pufferfish, clownfish, and salmon, and 10 new flowers and dyes were introduced. The chicken jockey, and the amplified world type was added. While somehow not being called the aquatic update, 1.8 introduced ocean monuments along with guardians and elder guardians, all the prismarine blocks and lamps, and sponges now suck up water instead of just being cosmetic. The update also brought diorite, andesite, and granite with the express purpose of clogging up inventories. Slime blocks and rabbits were added, and sheep now drop mutton when killed. This update also added spectator mode, armor stands, and changed both the way villagers traded and their trading HUD. But then, tragedy struck. In September 2014, Notch sold Minecraft to Microsoft and left the development team. But why? Why would he walk away from his brainchild, the thing he had poured his heart and soul into for 6 years? Oh, never mind, I get it. 1.9 completely changed the way combat works. Swords now have cooldowns and can't be spammed. Shields were introduced, revolutionizing defense, but removing the sword parry mechanic. And the offhand that allowed for both shield use and items to be held, placed, or used. Axes now do more damage than swords, and can be used to disable shields in PvP. This update also introduced end gates leading to end cities, where you can find the new Shulker mob, along with dragon heads and the Elytra. The mending enchantment was added, letting you repair tools with XP. End crystals were added, allowing you to respawn the Ender Dragon and acquire more end gates. Oh, and igloos. This update was nothing. Some new mobs, strays, husks, and polar bears, magma blocks and bone blocks were added, along with fossils underground. This update must have been around the time Mojang swapped their office chairs for soft, comfy beds and started offering 362 vacation days a year. This was the Woodland Mansion update, introducing Vindicators and Evokers, Totems of Undying, a staple in any hardcore world, Llamas and Observers, and Shulkers now drop materials to make Shulker boxes. The 2 Curse of enchantments were added, Curse of Binding and Curse of Vanishing, and Explorer maps were added, helping you locate woodland mansions and ocean monuments. Fireworks were also changed to allow for boosted Elytra flight. Another lackluster release, this update changed the color palette of a lot of blocks. I guess. But it did introduce Parrots, the Illusioner mob, Concrete, and Glazed Terracotta. This was also the origin of the recipe book in the crafting menu, letting you quick craft items and see recipes. 1.13 introduced the first mob vote. It was a battle between the Phantom, the Barnacle, the Great Hunger, and the Wildfire. The Phantom won the vote and was added to the game. Why they couldn't have added all 4, I'll never understand. But the aquatic update brought us dolphins, turtles, tropical fish, and turned the salmon, cod, and pufferfish items into mobs. As well as Drowned, the underwater zombie variant carrying tridents, and all the accompanying trident enchantments. The Coral Reef biome was added, along with conduits made from Hearts of the Sea and Nautilus shells, giving underwater buffs. This update also made Soul Sand produce bubble columns, allowing for water elevators to be made. And now there's an actual swimming animation instead of this. The Village and Pillage update was a massive overhaul to villagers and trading mechanics. Villagers now get their professions from job site blocks like composters and lecterns. Villagers have a new trading hub, and prices can now go up and down, allowing for ultra cheap trades with zombie villager curing. Villagers now sleep in beds during the night and can gossip with each other about the player. The other big addition to this update were raids. After killing a pillager bannerman and walking into a village, a raid will trigger. You'll be attacked by pillagers that drop the new crossbow, as well as Ravengers, Evokers, Witches, and Vindicators. 2018's mob vote was held in China, with the winner being pandas and the runner-up being the crocodile, golden monkey, deer, and pink dolphin. Bamboo and bamboo forests were added with the panda, along with scaffolding blocks. Foxes and new stray cats, and the worst person to ever live, the wandering trader. New functional blocks including the blast furnace, smoker, barrel, loom, cartography table, fletching table, smithing table, composter, stone cutter, grindstone, lectern, and campfire. 1.15 was the bee's knees. Sorry. Honey blocks were introduced, working similarly to slime blocks. They added another layer of complexity to redstone machinery. This update also added bee nests, bee hives, honeycomb, honey bottles, but that's about it. 1.16 brought a complete overhaul to the Nether Dimension. 4 new biomes, the Soul Sand Valley, Crimson Forest, Warped Forest, and Basalt Deltas. New mobs including piglins, hoglins, zoglins, striders, and piglin brutes. Piglins can be bartered with, exchanging gold for rare items and treasure. New structures like the Bastion Dungeon and ruined portals in the overworld. Netherite, mined from ancient debris and smelted with gold, can be added to any armor or weapon, making a rarity past diamond possible for the first time since the game's release. Other items and blocks are crimson and warped wood, blackstone, basalt, crying obsidian, lodestones, respawn anchors, soulfire and related items, and the target block that sends a redstone signal when hit. 1.17 and 1.18 are basically the same update. Caves and Cliffs Part 1 and 2. These updates were a complete overhaul to caves and mining, increasing both the dig depth and build height of worlds. Deep Slate will now spawn in lower cave levels as a tougher variant of stone. New underground biomes like Dripstone Caves, Lush Caves, and geodes containing amethyst were added, as well as copper ore. Copper ore. So much copper ore. Why, God, why is there so much copper ore? The new copper blocks made from this ore have an oxidation effect over time. This update introduced new mobs including the axolotl, goat, and glow squid, who won the mob vote over the moobloom and isolager. The new items and blocks are spyglasses, glow ink sacks, glow berries, and lightning rods. There's also a new texture for most ores, and lava can now be farmed with dripstone and cauldrons. The Wild update capitalized on the new cave system, adding ancient cities found in the deep dark and protected by the Warden. The Warden is the main focus of this update, being the first blind mob in the game. The other mobs added were frogs, allays, who beat the copper golem and the glare in the 2021 mob vote. The mangrove swamp biome was also added, along with the mangrove wood type. Other items including goat horns, mud bricks, and a new enchantment, Swift Sneak. Trails and Tales introduced the cherry blossom biome, along with cherry blossom trees and wood. It also introduced the bamboo plank type, meaning wood planks can now be automatically farmed, plus the bamboo raft. The mobs added in 1.20 are the Camel and Sniffer, who won the 2022 mob vote against the Rascal and Tough Golem. This update changed the way netherite can be used, now requiring an expensive upgrade card to apply to diamond tools and armor. The trial run structure was also introduced, along with archaeological mechanics like brushing and pottery shards. Smithing templates can be found in dungeon chests. They can be duplicated and apply special cosmetic trims to armors. The calibrated skulk sensor was added, allowing for the first time for wireless redstone based on sound. 1.21 is the latest update to the game, and the one that brought us trial chambers. By drinking a bad omen potion, you can fight the new bog and breeze mobs for a chance at trial keys and ominous trial keys. These can be exchanged for rare loot, including the new mace weapon, along with its enchantments. This update also introduced a few copper variant items, and the Auto Crafter, a block that can be given a crafting template and automatically crafts items for you. And with that, we're all caught up until 1.22 releases. If you enjoyed the video, learned something new, or didn't fall into a deep coma while watching, consider liking and subscribing. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.